Hi guys, it's Jacob from Stringbuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being the music journalism site, links are in the description down below, and we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest track by Linkin featuring Pusha T and Stormzy. What a strange list of collaborations, and it's goodbye if you couldn't already tell, so I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. So at this point, everyone seems to have chilled out or cooled down about Linkin changing their sound yet again going into this brand new album. It's like the third or fourth time they've really changed up their sound, and sure, people still did really dislike Heavy and Battle Symphony, and I am part of those people in question, but it doesn't seem as aggressive as when they first dropped Heavy, or rather the week they first dropped Heavy within and the whole internet basically imploded. Personally, the last few tracks, if you couldn't already tell by the tone of my voice, I didn't really enjoy them. Yeah, they were some of the cheesiest cliche EDM ballads I've heard all year, so I'm hoping for something with at least a bit more gusto to it, or maybe a little bit more of like a gritty nature to it, because it's bad pop music really. So should we see what I thought of this brand new track? Well, for me, somehow the tracks are actually getting worse and worse as they keep dropping them. Although most people are over it, as I've already said, I still think people are probably overlooking how bad the drop in quality has been from track to track, because this is a new low for me. Heavy was just a boring EDM ballad with a silly feature that was harmless and dull, but I didn't find it particularly offensive or anything like that. Battle Symphony, on the other hand, was an immensely lazy and cheesy track with a poor vocal performance and a lack of drive and a really shoddy production job, which could have been improved a lot. So I was a little bit offended by that, because I used to like this group a lot, and I thought, oh, well, they're just kind of phoning it in at the moment. But then you have this track, which has two pandering, phoned-in, wasted features. Shoddy performance by Chester, yet again, has been through a terrible production cycle, has awful lyrics, and literally has nothing redeemable about it at all, other than maybe Stormzy's 2 lines or whatever it was in this mix. It was a waste of my time, and I'm kind of done with the group at this point, and I have come to a premature conclusion that this album isn't going to be for me. If I couldn't already tell that, I was kind of stupid still being hopeful, but yeah, I don't think this album is going to appeal to me all too much. Production-wise, it's crucial for an EDM track in particular to have a really strong production cycle and a really strong showing by the producers, since the genre is so bloated at the moment, and being original is becoming increasingly harder as there are more DJs breaking through onto the big scene, and EDM is the popular in trend at the moment. People love that type of music. It flooded the charts. This track, on the other hand, has no effort put into it at all, into being unique or anything like that, and feels like it's just been through a Linkin EDM processor. It's just so generic that it's almost upsetting. The pads are dull and don't possess a single memorable timbre, if you couldn't already tell. The chipmunk vocals that are sort of decorated, or rather just added into that sort of pre-chorus, are so cheesy and add this cheesy harmonic layer over what is already an absolute carcass of a texture given in that mid-ground. The vocals are auto-tuned, as you couldn't, it's been like that over the last 2 tracks, so why would you expect anything different? And gated to heck as well, because there is no grit left in the vocals. And even the bass in the chorus is flat out probably the worst bass I've heard in a chorus so far this year, and I can't believe that it's being so overlooked. I mean, getting back onto that bass in particular, the slightly distorted, clipping, stabbing sound it possessed was horrific, to the extent that I had to actually turn my subwoofer off on the second repeat listen, on the third repeat listen, and so on, since it actually sounded like someone was kicking my subwoofer rather than actually a bass note being played. I'm all for big, juicy, fat bass. I love that stuff, but this sounded clangy. When it comes to the musicality of this track, the song form has to be one of the worst parts for me, since it literally just went verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, finish. I mean, that would be fine if it was like a rambling folk track which was telling a story, but this is just a bland ballad with a couple of rap features in the EDM genre. So there was no escalation, there was no variation, no decoration other than those chipmunk vocals, and I don't really want to count that as decoration, because that's about as lazy as decoration comes. There's no development in any aspect, and because of it, the song just dragged and dragged. Mike sounded fine, and it was actually nice to hear him rap once again. It's been a little while since I've have heard that, but he just sounded functional to me on here. And when he rapped, it sounded as if he was trying to rap over a trap track, and there was no trap track in the background. Then you have Pusha T, who sounded like just about anybody you could have put on there, and I wouldn't have noticed any difference, despite coming off a really good feature on the Gorillaz' latest track. He added nothing to the song at all, and I think that's disappointing and a waste, as I've already mentioned. But the travesty for me is literally how they put Stormzy on this track for about 10 seconds, and that's about it. What the heck is even, what is the point in even putting an artist like that onto this track if you're going to cut his runtime into that short of a length? This guy is a huge artist. You're literally just putting him on there for a title. So I think that's also kind of shoddy work from the group. The chorus hook is bland, the progressions are dull and repetitive, and I just can't see the upside in this track. Lyrically, gosh, this track is just so cheesy, and I actually feel sorry for Pusha T and Stormzy, and that they actually had to say the words which are written out for them in this song. Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. Linkin Park have never been that great with lyrics, admittedly. I've never thought of them as being that lyrically clever or innovative. I mean, they weren't really aiming for that. They've never tried to be that, but yeah. But only now when they're actually making pop music and they're on a pop scale where the lyrics are so much more important and so much easier to really analyze, can I see actually how bad they really are at lyric writing. These lyrics are horrifically bad. So all in all, this review has turned more into a rant really, and I apologize for that. And just so you know, I actually think Linkin Park are one of the most talented groups of the past 2 decades, and there's a reason why their name is such a household name regardless of your age. But they are throwing that status away with this terrible album. I've never felt so aggravated by one outing. I appreciate that they like changing their sound and that they're way too old to go down this new metal sound. Nobody would want to hear that anyway. I wouldn't even really want them to go down the metal sound because I don't think they could carry a modern metal sound. But this is just awful. It's just so bad. So I gave it a G rating of 1 out of 10, which is nearly as low as they come. So if you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye bye.